Hello and welcome. This is rooflemonger, my friends. It is Tekken trailer day yet again, and this time it is for our space ninja weirdo friend Yoshimitsu, and he's as weird as ever, so don't worry about that. So before we get into any of the trailer stuff, in case you are unaware, there is some big Tekken news going on in that tomorrow, as of the time of me making this video, there will be a Tekken 8 demo going live. The demo will have the first chapter of the story mode and also a little bit of the arcade quest mode, and you can play as Kazuya, Jin, Nina, and Paul. So if you missed out on any of the betas, now is a good time to actually play the game properly. Also, there's been a whole bunch of just lots of Tekken news all around the web. There was some press events where people got their hands on the game. I was not one of them, unfortunately, but still, if you just want to check, character move lists, all that kind of stuff, it is all over the web now, which is handy because with Yoshimitsu specifically here, Yoshi's got a lot of new toys, like new moves, some right out of Soul Calibur, and a lot of weird new transitions, all that, and well, let's get directly into the trailer, I suppose. So as far as the plot for Yoshimitsu this time around, honestly, it's not too much. It's definitely not part of the grand Mishima, epic. He found some nasty place that has a lot of demon energy, and demon energy went to a sword, and he's like, oh no, that's bad. And well, that's kind of about it. But you know what? It actually is reflected in the gameplay because the sword can get extra nasty this time around. So that is actually pretty interesting. Yoshi has a new look every game, and this is probably my second favorite look. Like, I'm older, Tekken 3, that's the classic look. No one's ever going to top the Tekken 3 Yoshimitsu. Them's the breaks. But this look is really solid. The inky blue with the neon red really stands out. It is very visually striking. Now, as far as the gameplay goes, we got lots of new stuff literally right out of the gate, because we got new stance shifts, we got new move properties, and we got new moves. So out of the gate here, this is Run 3, and Run 3 can now go into the helicopter stance. Certainly couldn't before, and from the helicopter stance, it's just, the same old helicopter one, right? But it now knocks down. Before, it would leave the opponent standing, and there's no counter hit or anything like that, just knocks him down flat. And then we got our new move here where he's using both swords. So this is forward 1+2, and it's also a heat engager, and we're going to see this move later on in the trailer as well. So out of the gate, new gimmicks, new toys to work with, and it's going to be the theme of the trailer because he's got lots of new stuff. Now, next up in the trailer, all new move, this is up back 1+2. So it looks similar to down 1, except he's using both of his hands. And this is a big power move because 1, it does chip damage, and it also forces the enemy to crouch on block. So Nina goes for some while standing moves because she's forced to crouch, and gets bopped here. So this is 2-2 into this madness. And there's a lot going on here, so we're going to talk about it. So for 1-2-2, got completely reanimated. That's cool. And it can go into the no sword stance, like where you sheath your sword, right? And out of the no sword stance, we're going to see up back 1+2 again. It's the same move that we started the sequence with, except as you can see, visually much more dramatic. And there's more than just, the hit itself. And the hit's very impressive. It looks, really good. But, well, let's talk about the visuals, I guess. So the big extra angry glow of the red sword, you're going to see that throughout the trailer. It's a theme. So that's part of the demonically possessed blade. Now that it's extra angry due to the lore, due to the story. And also when it's like that, notice that it's taking something from Nina here. Like there is energy coming from Nina going into Yoshi. And I think that's more than just particle effects. I think that's a lot more than just show. I think this could be like a lifesteal effect. After the hit, just view like these red sparklies, red particle effects go from Nina into Yoshi, and when they hit on Yoshi, there's a bit of a green glow on them. It's very faint, but it's there. You've played a video game before. You know these green swirlies have to mean healing. That's the rules of video games. I didn't make them, okay? So that screams that when he has the extra charge moves and this little effect happens, he is doing a lifesteal effect from the enemy. Yoshi is no stranger to like life status weirdness in Tekken, right? He can gain life, steal life, all that kind of stuff. So this looks like it's building towards that aspect of the character. We have another way to steal life from the enemy. That's how it reads to me anyways. Now here we see a quick punish into some combo strings, and we got some new stuff here. So punish, up forward 3, knee launches. This is down forward 1-2 with a new string ender, down forward 1-2-1 into a tornado spin. 3-2, 1+2. Stand 3 got reanimated. Now this sequence is extra fun because yes, there's new tricks, but we got something right out of Soul Calibur now. So quick block, Yoshi uses the Indian stance to go under the guns. I guess it counts as instant crouch because the gunshots are clearly going through him here. And Yoshi's got new tricks out of Indian stance. So this is slide 3-4, the double kick. So now he can do it out of the stance. Almost every stance in Tekken 8, he'll have new offensive options. And not only that, he can go directly into helicopter stance from these kicks. So more stance shifts on top of that. All new move from helicopter stance, forward 1+2, big, just multi-spin, swinging multiple times, and this also wall splats. We see stand 2-2 again. This is a tail spin too, so resplats on the wall. And then, hey, wait a second, I know you. You're not from here, you're from Soul Calibur. So yeah, it looks like as many years, Tekken moves going to Soul Calibur, it looks like some Soul Calibur moves are coming into Tekken now, as the big sword spin now is part of his Tekken 8 moveset. So this is his 1+2 quick draw stance, forward 1, by the way. So that's the notation for it now. But yeah, inheriting Soul Calibur moves, that's actually super cool. And here we see his dramatic battle intro against Brian. Turns out the sword is a match for a minigun, oddly enough. And yeah, him and Brian are just never going to figure this out. They're going to fight each other forever. And hey, speaking of that, so full crouch down forward 1 launches the enemy. Now a tornado versus the old kind of juggle it had before into a heat burst. Forward 3+4 shoulder, and then we're gonna see this here, this big old nasty sword business again. So the original full crouch down forward 1 actually went directly into no sword stance, put the sword away, right? So that's what led everything this to here. So we do our string into our big ender, and once again, when the sword's put away, seemingly when you draw it again with certain strings or certain moves, you can get this extra powerful version of the sword swing. Glowing blood red, and just like before, steals that energy from Brian, goes into Yoshimitsu, and just like before, there's some green energy. So it seems to be a recurring theme where going into no sword stance, you will then later draw the sword to big results after the fact. And after the sequence is done, the sword is still glowing blood red. I think that's because they're currently in heat mode. Next sequence also interesting. So block, then the 1+4 flash, causes a different crumple animation than before. And then we have back 2-2, which is a heat engager. And note, the sword is glowing blood red again. So when you're in heat, the sword is going to be extra nasty. And then after this, going directly into the heat smash. And look, more energy stolen, more green glow, so potentially more health gained. Here we're going to see that all new forward 1+2 again, using it as a whiff punish, and yes, heat engager, so we get a follow-up directly after the fact here. Going into the quarter circle forward 1 moonsault slayer, except right before it hits, helicopter cancels. And yes, more lifesteal, more health gain, as we can see by the particle effects, but they made a good showing of us earlier in the video that Helicopter 1 knocks down now, right? Except while you're in heat mode, Helicopter 1 is now a straight up friggin' launcher. So after the launch here, back 2-1, relaunches the enemy. Go into the quick draw stance real quick here, back 2-1 again. This time it's a tail spin. And then goes for the classic forward 4-2, except we got some fancy blue sparks here. So usually it's forward 4-2 and then hit 2 again when you connect for like that fancy samurai slash through the enemy effect. But with the blue sparks, there's some sort of perfect timing element here. So it could be when you hit 2 when you connect on the enemy, but either way, always looks cool. It's always been one of his signature moves. That's what I liked about him back in the day, right? And now seemingly with some element of timing, looks like he'll get an extra bonus reward. Our next segment here is going to start in the helicopter in heat. And notice in heat, the sword's still blood red, right? Helicopter 4. And then we're going to heat dash cancel that bad boy. 3-2 into more helicopter stance. And we got a new string in helicopter stance here. 2-4. And we get a tornado effect here. And then a new string here down 2-2-2. So lots of new transitions, lots of new toys. And hey, I don't gotta tell you, you know how all these trailers end, right? It's a big fancy rage art time. And Yoshimitsu's gonna Yoshimitsu, right? We get a little bit of a black and white filter, and Yoshi's doing the whole samurai thing, as you would expect. And that is the Yoshimitsu trailer, and it's been pretty fun. So he's got some new moves. Everyone's got new moves, right? Seemingly the whole sheath the sword, unsheath the sword, and get like super new properties and have like seemingly a lifesteal effect to it. That's really cool. I like that. I like all the new transitions in that his classic stances, because he's a big silly character, right? There's more ways to go into those stances, and those stances all seem to have new options as well. So it's still classic Yoshimitsu to be sure, but with just even more fun toys to play around with. And I'm a big fan that he's finally borrowing from his Soul Calibur self. Like, do it more, man. I love Soul Calibur. Like, if they found a way to put Ivy in Tekken, I sure wouldn't complain, right? But yeah, overall, just like so much of the returning cast, he's doing really well for himself. The game launches next month. We don't got too many more of these trailers yet, and we still have the elusive Kuma trailer, which is what the masses are yearning for. Hopefully we get that one sooner rather than later. But yeah, besides that, once again, as of the time of me posting this video, demo is tomorrow, and we get to play around with some of the features. I'm looking forward to seeing some of the story mode. It's already out on the web now, but I want to see it for myself. And really looking forward to the arcade quest mode, because the Virtua Fighter 4 quest mode, which this one is very much based off of, is my favorite single player mode in all of fighting game history. If the Tekken 8 version can capture any essence of that, then it is going to be the best single player mode of modern fighting games, hands down. That said though, I guess we're at the end of the video. Make sure to check the channel. There's been a lot popping off on the channel lately for all sorts of games. So check out some of the other videos on the channel and all the stuff that's going on with all those other games. But for now, that's it for me. So that's it for this video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well, and go out and play some Tekken.